Hey everybody, welcome back to some more Attack on Titan. We are on episode 15 today. This episode is titled Special Ops Squad, and it's part of the Night Before the Counteroffensive. This is part 2 of that anthology, The Night Before the Counteroffensive. We had a very interesting episode. Last episode we were in trial. We were on trial. Eren was on trial, and they were determining whether or not he was going to live or die at the hands of the military police. Obviously we had the Survey Corps who was trying to rally him to get him to go in that direction, basically to save him and then to use him as well for the ultimate plan of recovering Wall Maria. We're still trying to get into that basement to figure out what exactly Dr. Jaeger, Eren's dad, left there in terms of information or clues that might help us to deal with Titans and might give us more information as to the outside world and the world of Attack on Titan in general. Eren was on trial and he did not get killed. Spoiler alert. It was an interesting trial to say the least. They broke a million different rules, but then again, we've already seen in the world of Attack on Titan that they don't exactly have the most strictest of rules, and the government in itself seems slightly corrupt to say the least, especially at the higher levels with the higher ups, the nobles, the marquis, these individuals that do not exactly display the most ethical nature that you might experience from individuals, if that might be a way to phrase it. But yeah, I thought it was cool. We got to see a little more from my favorite character of all time in the Survey Corps, Hanji, I believe is the name. Hanji. Such a fun character. Love the spontaneity and the silliness and the wackiness. Basically, Sasha 2.0 is what I've been calling that character for like the longest time, just because they have a very similar kind of like rowdy, strange, like eccentric personality that borders on comedic relief and levity, but is still kind of at times grounded. In fact, more so I think than Sasha. Hanji is that character that toes the line of eccentricity, of being wacky, insane, but also kind of serious at times. We saw that a little bit last episode. We also saw the other individual for the Survey Corps, which is the guy that smells things. My guy is borderline a werewolf, it seems. Then we got to see, obviously, Levi playing the role of an actor. Who knew Levi was such a good actor? In fact, I think he was technically acting, technically not so, in the courtroom. I know that was part of Erwin's plan, which Erwin revealed at the end of the episode, that it was all an orchestration, it was all performance to try to win the approval of the military police and the jury, the whole, the judge especially, to sway the court case in their favor. And it ended up working. It worked very well. It ended up working. Erwin seems to know how to finesse things. He's very much a strategist, and he seems like a really cool character. And then obviously Levi, I had defined him last episode as Erwin's right-hand man, and that seems to basically be the case. Levi is the bad cop, Erwin is the good cop, and together they make a really good dynamic duo, I think. In this episode, I'm assuming we're going to get more in terms of what I've kind of been talking about in some previous episodes, where we're going to see Eren trying to work in tandem alongside with the Survey Corps. How exactly do they mesh together? How do they work? What is their dynamic? Can he function within that team? Truth be told, I don't know that Eren is going to be the strongest, what would you call it, like the strongest fighter on the team necessarily. These are people that have been in the Survey Corps presumably for a while, so they have tons of experience. But that is super cool for Eren because he can get that experience. He can learn under the guise and under the guidance of experienced fighters who are in the thick of it day in and day out, doing reconnaissance missions, going outside the walls, and fighting Titans on a regular basis. So that's gonna up his skill level like crazy. Yeah, we still haven't really heard a plan, necessarily a concrete plan for how they're going to address the whole wall situation. I know that they want to do basically what they did with Wall Rose. They just want to replicate that, grab a big boulder and jam it into the hole. But how they go about it, we still don't really know. I'm assuming Erwin's gonna come up with a really, really cool strategy because again, he is a strategist. And I found it funny too. For some reason, my brain went here where the judge, when he said that's all, to when Erwin said we could just use Eren to enact this plan, and he's like, that's all. Maybe what the judge thought that Erwin meant, sort of like miscommunication wise, maybe Eren's not scot-free. Maybe he's only scot-free to the degree that he finishes his mission, and once he completes it, they didn't guarantee that he would like walk away freely, or that he'd be able to still join in the government, or that he wouldn't still be on this kind of death row, trial basis, on which he has to still like fight for his merits and his right to not be executed, basically. That might still be a situation in the future after this particular mission gets resolved. And it was funny too, somebody mentioned in the comments that Eren's dad, Dr. Jaeger, is presumably inside of the wall. walls. He's not outside of the wall. I thought he was outside of the walls. It's kind of like living outside somewhere, like a nomad or something. But apparently he's inside of the walls treating patients. He's just in the inner walls, which at this point is just the one inner wall, which is even more crazy that Dr. Yeager is like inside of the walls. He's not that far away from Eren, but he chooses to just handle patients at the exclusion of communicating with his own son. I don't know. Damn, he's a bad dad first and foremost, but he might have reasons for why he does what he does. The last time that we saw him really was that flashback, and he was crazy as hell. So maybe he went a little wacky and is not exactly in his right senses, or he just knows some information that is causing him to act in such a way. In either case, we might get more information as to his whereabouts, what he's doing, what he's planning, and what's in that basement. It might all be like tied together in some way. But I know for sure in this episode, we're just gonna get a little bit more training for Eren, and just seeing kind of the dynamics of the teams, and I think getting a little bit more introductions as well, and a little bit more like interpersonal dialogue and communication between the characters that we just got introduced. So this should be fun. This should be fun. Henji for the win, or Henji for the win. Let's check it. Oh, let's check it out. Maybe that's what they originally had in mind, though, to keep them this far away. Right. Oh, that's funny. So they're using it as a means to hide him. What the heck? What the? Yo, did he bite his tongue? Oh my god. How dumb you are. So his character's a bit of a klutz, it seems. What was your plan, to bite your tongue? So you really looks up to Captain Levi. Also, who's this character? Special Operations Squad. Spec Ops. What's the Squad Levi? Petra Titan kills 10. Assists 48. They got assists in here? Whoa! Olo kills 39. Assists 9. Oh, so he kills more than he assists. Kills 14. Assists 32. Bro, we got the whole roster. Gunther. Kills 7. Assists 40. For sure, they will be the ones to kill you. All of them. And that will be one big assist. And then Levi will get the kill, probably. Stupid. We'll begin immediately. So dumb. Just cleaning. Yo, him with that serious face wearing that, it looks so stupid. Petra seems kind of jovial. I don't think he would have a high position if he didn't take orders. Right. No way, he was a thug? What? There's no way. Oh wow, yo, Captain Erwin. Now that man has a strong fist. That's crazy. Everybody got spooked. Right. Exactly. They're on a timetable right now. They're on a race against time. Something he'd sniff out apparently is BS. Not as sharp as you. What is Erwin actually planning then? I'm telling you, Erwin is a strategist. He's got a crazy idea, I bet. A very, very long-term plan. Okay, so this is where our graduates come into the equation. Into this expedition. That makes sense. Right. I mean, you should take advantage of it while you still have it. Why are they looking at him like that? They know the deal.
きっかけになるのは自傷行為です。
That is the trigger.
こうやって
Self-inflicted
手を
injury.
あれそういえば俺はなんでこれだけは知ってるんだっけ
The second mind. He has a memory that he doesn't know of.
こんばんは。リヴァイ班の皆さん。お城の住み心地はどう
Also,
かな
Hanji's not part of the Levi squad. That's interesting. Why
い
not?
ても立ってもいられない。
Squad leader Hanji.
2体の巨人の生態調査を担当しているんだけど、
Right, the two titans they
明日の
captured.
実験にはエレンにも協力してもらいたい。
Experiments.
その許可をもらいに来た。
Came to get permission.
ですか
What if he says no? Something totally awesome.
これたぎるやつをだよ。
What?
あの
Oh, that face is weird. I don't know
許可
what
に
you
つい
mean
て
by
は
awesome.
自分では下せません。自分の権限を持っているのは自
Captain
分で
Levi does, apparently.
庭の掃除だ。
ならよかった。
His face. Look at his face.
しかし巨人の実験とはどういうものですか
That was a quick edit.
巨人の実験とは
おい、やめろ。聞くな。
She's gonna go into detail now. Wow. These squad members do not look after
そ
their
ん
own.
なに聞きたかったの
They don't
か。
want to.
しょうがないな。それじゃあ聞かせてあげないとね。
From the beginning.
まずは過去5回の捕獲時に行った実験の反復から始めた。
Last 5 successful captures. That's a lot of successful captures. Do they not have a better system than nails?
検証。
Jeez.
調子はどう？
Also, they got the most
名前は？
rabid looking
体
titans
は痛くな
possible.
い？
Probably because they can't get evidence. That'd be impossible. All of these look so like docile.
お腹すいた？
Keep your sword out at least.
残念ながら今回も意志を通わ
Damn.
せを率いた男の名前をお前たちに授けようと思う。
Okay.
お前がソニー、
Sony.
お前がビーンだ。
Bean and Sony.
でも安心して
What is that stance?
4メートル級をソニーとそれぞれ名
So
付けた。
these are the titans that they're using for experimentation, it seems. For right now, it seems. Oh, they set up little
Tsugini-
tents. Ooh.
驚かされた
Insane.
よ。
Or at least they act so.
彼らは水も食料も取らない。発生期間はあっても呼吸を必要としな
They
い。
don't need to breathe?
唯一活動に必要なのは日光なんだ。
All they require is
ずっ
sunlight.
と日光を立つとどうなるのか。
Right.
以前捕獲した子たちは誤って殺してしまったんだ。
That happens.
髪
Yeah,
を切り
it
落
happens.
とす実験でうなじまで削ってしまってね。
Mm.
地下地牢
We know they can survive without their heads, though.
ごめんだ。
Hanji's about to go into some dark stuff.
ハンジさん
Mm-hmm.
そして
Explosion.
次の段階からは巨人の体と
Yeah. Okay, it's like lap dance. Yo, Hanji's insane.
あなたが叫ぶ必要
You don't need to scream too. How can I not? Oh, this is intense.
頑張れ。
That's
巨
crazy.
人にうなじ以外の弱点がないか確認。
I would assume not.
どうしたの？
Damn, yo, I thought Sonny was about to eat Hanji. That was
今の惜しかった。
that was hella close. Oh,
憎しみを頼りに巨人と戦ってた。
I think that's how it starts for all the people in
そんなあ
Attack
る
on
日
Titan.
私は気づいた。切断した3メートル級の生首
That's a funny looking
悪
still.
かったんだ。異常に。巨人
Light.
した腕はその質量にあるべき重量には到底達していな
Is
かっ
it just fake mass then?
た。エレンが巨人になった時も
When
何
you
も
become
な
a
かった
Titan,
と
the
ころか
body
ら
appeared
巨
of
人の
thin air.
体が現れたと聞く。
Huh. What does that mean?
私たちに見えているものと実在するものの本質は全然違うんじゃないかってね。
What we see and what they are is different. Is Hanji trying to imply that there's humans in there?
から巨人を見てみたいんだ。空回りに終わるかもしれないけど、
I like Hanji,
でも
the crazy scientist.
私はやる。
I like that. That is cool. Everyone here is odd.
これじゃ
Yeah, well,
変
you
人
not
の
want to
巣窟
talk. It's like a den of madmen.
でも変革を求める人間の集団、それこそが調査
Damn right, they're on the precipice of change, my friend. That's what makes them so mad.
しておいた方がいいかと思いますし。
Interesting.
そうだね。うん。今の話じゃ省略した部分も多かったし、
I'm just gonna take
も
this
っ
as
と詳
flirting,
細
I
に話
guess.
すとし。まずは最初に巨人を捕獲した時に、私はこう
Damn, I want to
仮
hear
定
it
してい
too,
た。
though. Where's the OVA for this? Give me that info. Come
な
on.
ので今回の実験では
Oh, damn. Okay, no, never mind. That's too much.
もう知ってるよね。
Mm.
全部知ってました。
なので
Oh
ここ
boy.
からは私独
Let's
自
go
の
over it
推
once
測を交
more.
えて
This time adding
もう
my
一
own
度解読する
hypothesis.
よ。
Please. Yo, Hanji doesn't have to do anything apparently.
巨人が2体とも殺されました。
Oh no. Oh no. How did it happen though? That's not possible.
やったのか。ああ、犯人はまだ見つ
Oh,
かっ
that's
てな
not
い。
good.
夜明け前に2体同時にやられたらし
Same
い。
time.
見張り
With
が気
one
づいた
slash
時には
maybe.
立体軌道ではるか遠くだ。
Maneuver gear to get away. Yep. Somebody did it.
敵は何だと思う？
What?
すまない。
What do you think the enemy is? As in, like, not who they are, but what they are? What information does Erwin know that we don't? He has to divulge some of this information because he is just too, I think he's too like on the mend with the info. He's got some crazy details apparently that nobody else really knows because he must know something about this whole thing. I'm assuming Aaron looked at him there a little bit because he was like, why did you say that? Do you know something about this? Were you a part of it? I feel like Erwin's not a part of it, but Erwin knows something for sure. This guy has all the info that you could possibly want. Man, this was an interesting episode. We got a little bit more information on the Titans themselves, their structure, their anatomy. How is it possible that they weigh basically nothing? I've been saying it for a while, like maybe there are human beings within the Titans that are being like drugged up, essentially like the way Aaron had, was in this kind of drugged up state. The only difference being that Aaron can kind of control it, he can go in and out of it, but maybe the Titans are just people that are being taken, being transformed into Titans and just being released back towards humanity to like finish off humanity or something. That'd be an insane idea in the grand scheme. It wouldn't make much sense without further context or explanation, but it's like the most logical explanation given what we know so far from our end, from our perspective. We got to see more of Hanji. I love I love Hanji so much. Hanji's such a fun character. Oh man, it really sucks that Hanji lost the 2 test subjects, but without question, they'll probably have more. They'll probably get more test subjects. Hanji's not gonna stop there. The curiosity that Hanji has for Titans in general, it goes beyond anything. She will definitely continue her experiments. Why somebody would do that though, I mean, the only logical conclusion or the only rationale behind destroying Titans that were being used as experiments for the purpose of progressing information regarding Titans is to halt or put a block on the progress of that information, of knowledge, of learning. So somebody clearly, and apparently I guess in the Survey Corps in particular, people that are kind of, trusted to a certain degree, they've gotten into the government and now they're in one of the branches of the government that are very like vetted. Somehow they've like snuck past and are not only deliberately trying to stop the progress of learning about Titans, but they also seem to be like really sneaky about it. They're like real, because somehow they managed to get in, get out before anybody saw. Either that place was really like not well guarded, or they know that place. They know the structure and the kind of layout of that map, that location, to be able to get in and get out so easily and to handle those Titans with ease. So maybe it's somebody that is been in the government for a while potentially, but is kind of like flies under the radar. That would be my assumption. That was interesting. We got to see Levi in cleaning gear. I never expected to see that. Actually, it's funny. I did remember seeing that GIF way back when being used, kind of like very, very commonly commonly used gif of Levi opening like the windows and just being with cleaning gear and all that. So I kind of expected it the moment he said, all right, let's get started. I was like, oh my God, I know it's coming. I know it's coming. That was funny. We got to see a little bit more of his character too, his side. And I find it interesting how Petra talked about the kind of the public view of Levi as kind of this hero or this persona, this personality, when in reality, when we see him kind of behind the scenes, he's totally not that at all. He's confident on the battlefield, but he's pretty much forever always like in that same, I don't think his expression ever changes, to be honest with you. He's always kind of like this despondent, dejected, angry, frustrated, like piercing eyes with a very like sad, somber, but still like angry face. All the above, basically. So his character doesn't really change much. It's interesting to hear that he used to be like a gangster, like he used to be in gangs, and he used to be, I guess, a quote-unquote bad person, essentially, rowdy and doing whatever he wants, and that Erwin was the one to bring him in. Again, Erwin, it kind of all circles back to Erwin. He is quite this like this chess piece that is orchestrating a lot of different moves, and it's interesting that he chose Levi of all people to make as his right-hand man, and that Levi would change so much in terms of his personality to abide by the rules of government and be such a stickler, you know, quote unquote, because Erwin is the ultimate stickler. So that was super interesting. Yeah, we got to see a lot more stuff, and then we obviously got introduced to all the people that are in the Survey Corps. We got Petra, we got Volu, I believe it was his name, and then we got Gunther, and then we had the other guy whose name I'm forgetting. But they're all like interesting characters, and they all belong to Levi's squad in particular. I'm assuming we're going to see more of them and how they interact in particular with our team members, with our graduates, because now they've already established that they're going to do a reconnaissance mission with graduates and Survey Corps members alike together. So that's going to be interesting. How is that going to work out? There's so much juicy stuff that I feel like is going to happen in these coming episodes. I cannot wait to see how they handle it. Oh man, it's going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. Yeah, this is a very, very fun episode. And yeah, I guess next episode we'll probably get maybe a little bit of like an investigation scene insofar as what happened, trying to investigate and determine what happens to these Titans, who did it, who's the culprit. We might get a little bit of like a view on that, and we'll probably maybe, if not next episode, then I'm assuming the following episode, we're going to jump straight into that reconnaissance mission. So we're going to see our team members in action fighting against Titans and trying to deal with all that outside the walls. I'm assuming we're also going to see outside the walls. We really haven't seen anything. We've seen like you know, bits and pieces of like land, grass, trees, but we haven't really seen these reconnaissance missions and the points, I'm guessing, that they specifically aim to go towards. I'm curious to see what those like stations look like and all that. That's gonna be really interesting. But yeah, I cannot wait for the next episode. This episode was fantastic. This is good. This is good.